Hey, welcome again to everyone. So let me introduce Ernest, our speaker from today. So the topic for today in this workshop is overview and understanding Itep and Aptis scoring. Okay, Ernest Naru, it's an educator and researcher with extensive qualification, holding a master's degree in communication from the University of Medellin, a master's in applied linguistics from the University of Atlantico in Spain, and master's in teaching English and foreign language from the International English and Ibero-American University in Puerto Rico. He also holds a bachelor's degree in philosophy from the Urbania University in Italy. Originally from Kenya, Ernest, welcome. So you will going to present an overview and understanding of Itep and Aptis scoring. This section aims to elucidate the assessment frameworks and their application in language proficiency evaluation. Okay, so Ernest, welcome, and the microphone is yours.
Thank you so much, Luz Elena, for your welcome and everybody. So I'm grateful for your introduction. I'm really grateful to each and every one of you whomever is present, because I believe that the most important thing here is to have our audience, because were it not of your presence here, it means that otherwise my presentation could be meaningless or less significant. I believe that among our audience, we have the teachers here, the students, the administrators, maybe. And therefore, thank you for the opportunity that you've been given here to share this part of realm of the knowledge from the UNAD University. We do appreciate and recognize the presence of our administrator, starting from the rector of the university and even the director of the Language Institute of the UNAD University. And in extension, also, I do recognize in a very special way all those who have invited me in this scenario, starting from Luz Elena, in extension to Oscar, Guillermo, and so on, all the staff. So thank you. And I believe that what I'm going to share with you in this moment really is a space whereby I'm not just going to base myself on the theoretical part, but we're going to check on something to do with the practice. Therefore, I do hope and invite that you feel free. We are going to share the knowledge that we have so that we can enhance our knowledge in the preparation of these two examinations. I'd wish to say that I recognize that I don't possess the monopoly of wisdom, but really what I'm going to share with you are just some few ideas that I have about the presentation of some of these examinations, so that they can be, those ideas could help you, or else even you could help other people, other students, when it will come to a moment of presenting one of these exams. You know very well that to present or to prepare, to train people to present an international exam is not just a matter of 1 hour, 2 hours. It's something that can take a number of hours. And particularly when it comes to the special, or the practicality part of it, because in this case, we're going to talk about the Itep and Aptis, of which we know that there are some similarities in these exams. However, we know that there are some particular differences between the two kind of exams. However, we are going to focus on some of the common aspects that entails to the two exams, even though we'll have maybe some specifications on each and every part of the exam. And in the first part of it, as I've seen, we are going to check some of the common tips that could be of help for each one of us. for each one of the exam, the general tips that are required for each and every part, and then thereafter the second, but that will take like, let's say 20-25 minutes maximum. And then the rest of the time, we are going to focus on the practice or the praxis part of it. Therefore, you're most welcome, and let's go ahead. Therefore, as I've seen that it's been mentioned that our objective in this training is just to try and elucidate assessment frameworks and their implication for language proficiency, evaluation in relationship to Aptis and Itep exam. And what you're going to see here in the first part of it, just to have a general idea of the Itep exam, it is very important. Some of the key things that we need to have when you come to present any examination is also to know the structure of the exam or the format of the exam. And because when I know the structure, when I know the format of the exam, then there is no panicking. I'll not be panicking, because when I don't know the structure, it might be a little bit complicated. By knowing the structures, I'll be keen on the time. I'll be able to time so that I do correspond to what is asked in each and every part. In this regard, we are going to see when it comes to the Itep exam, it has the reading, listening, grammar part of it, and you can see the corresponding minutes that are dedicated for each part. Okay, so those are just like to give you the general paradigm of the exam. 20 minutes for reasoning, 10 minutes for speaking. And from when it comes to the writing part of it, we are going to see that the writing part of the Aptis, the Itep, sorry, it has the first part of the writing could be a note or an informal letter, which is almost the same stuff. It is just 50 to 75 words. And the second part of the writing, which is general cases and opinion essay, it is 175 words to 225. And then the rest of the speaking part, we have they are trying to shorten. Before the speaking part had quite a number of questions, but nowadays they have tried to shorten the speaking part. Just you have like 2 tasks that they'll ask you about it. Okay, then when it comes to the Aptis part of the exam, and in this case, I'm not going to emphasize a lot on the advanced Aptis, not unless I'll mention something little. Our main focus could be like in the general Aptis, okay? So in the general Aptis, we're going to find that we have around 40 minutes. And basically in the Aptis, you have 2 moments of listening. You can listen to the audio 2 times, okay? And the general studies that in the listening is based on the day-to-day social lives and maybe academic part of discussions, okay? Those are like the main things in the Aptis, or the listening part of the Aptis. When it comes to the reading part of it, it has 4 parts. And of course, the complexity goes on increasing. And just as we say that the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. When you climb a mountain, it becomes colder when you're on the apex or the top. So by that, the first part of it is just like a format kind of a letter we are going to see when it comes to the practical part of it. You're just supposed to fill in some information about that. And in the second part is like a report, or the program based on a report. It has like 2 tasks. You're supposed to fill in the information as well. Then from there, you are also supposed to put sentences in order, like the one order in sentences, just to put them, which one comes first, which goes the second part, then and the last one. In part 3, we are going to find like we have some multiple choices based from an article, so it's not complicated. And the last part is just the idea of organizing the paragraphs, the headings. You get like kind of 4 paragraphs, and then there are some subtopics. You're supposed to organize them to say which could be the best heading related to that text. Okay, and then in the writing part of the Aptis, we are going to find that it has the 4 sections. The first part is supposed to have like 3 minutes to write about the personal information, the dates of birth, for example. In the months of part of it, it's very important to write the month in full the full in once. I mean, for example, if you were born in June, you say that is June, maybe 1984, for example. Then you're supposed to write the city and maybe the town or the village where you come from. Also in this part, you'll be asked about the interest. What are some of your interests? It's very important here. Don't just say like, my interests are music or listening to music, playing soccer and watching movies. No, no, no. You lose the points. They are supposed to write the sentence incomplete, and one of the secrets that we're going to find, you are supposed to substantiate. You are supposed to show the importance of whatever you are asked. My interest to listen to music because it helps me to reduce the stress or to relax. I like doing sports to improve my body fitness. You are supposed to justify. Those are some of the things that you are going to find in the tips. In part two, you're going to find you have 7 minutes, and you are also like the extension of part one. You're supposed to explain the reason why, for instance, you are interested in doing sports or some kind of activities. You try to substantiate. And part three, you are going to find is like a chart, the chat box where you have like 3 people, 3 friends with whom you're supposed to be chatting. Just is something very informal, like we do in the WhatsApp. You try to chat with your friends, responding. And the last part of it, of the Aptis, is the simplest part because the first part is there's the informal letter. That's around 50 to 75 words. And the second part of it basically is like the formal letter. You are supposed to write a formal letter or something of the sort. And apart from this one, the difference from the advanced Aptis is that in the second part of the Aptis, the advanced, you are supposed to write like an essay. It can be an essay writing, and even they can ask you to write like a short article based on, they give you like a chart or a graph, and from there you are supposed to write like a short article related to what the graph is talking about. In that case, it's very important to give like a heading of your article. Then you have to mention like you have to give the intro, the introduction, the body part, and the conclusion. So that format is very important. Good. And lastly, when it comes to the speaking of aptitudes, it entails 12 minutes. And in this case, it has the different sections as well, part 1, 2, 3, and 4 as follows. In part 1, you are supposed to spend only 30 seconds. Therefore, you find that there is no wastage of time. There is no time to think. So you should be very creative in a way that you're going to answer the questions. Sometimes they ask questions based on the personal information, things to do with your family members, where you live, your interests, what you do in your free time, what you do when you meet with your friends, something like that. So important you not only mention, but also you justify, show the importance, which means that in this case, we are supposed to speak very fast. Okay, we are going to find the practical part when you'll be asking some people to participate. So show the importance of whatever you're asked. Part 2, you're going to find 45 seconds. They are like 2 questions, and you're supposed to describe a picture. The first part, they'll ask you to describe what can you see in the picture. So you are supposed to talk about that picture, and after one, they'll ask you another question related to the initial question, or they'll ask you something related, which is the opinion kind of, based on the picture. Maybe you can find, for instance, a picture of people playing soccer, and then they'll ask you, what do you think sports are important in our lives? They can ask you. So you're supposed to give an opinion on that. Then part 3, you are going to find the 2 pictures. They give you 2 pictures, and you're supposed to compare and contrast those 2 pictures. And then they'll ask you an opinion kind of. For instance, they could give you pictures of 2 houses, one house based on maybe in a city or like urban area, and the other picture could be from a countryside or the rural area. In that case, you compare the 2 of them, and maybe also they'll ask you the opinion questions again. They could ask you, for instance, what do you think could be the best place to bring up a child? So in that case, you're supposed to take the few, maybe could it be in the countryside or the the urban area, the city. So the important thing is to have the justification. First, give your point of view. After you give your point of view, give the arguments, and after the arguments, try to give an example. So you need to cite three things: your point of view, that's like your opinion, and then you're supposed to give arguments, and finally the example to show that fully you understand the question. The last part is a little bit technical, because in the last part you're supposed to speak for 2 minutes. They'll give you 1 minute to prepare and then 2 minutes to speak. And in this regards, the questions are related, so they're intertwined. So you find that's like 1A, B, and C. Okay, for instance, they could ask you, okay, do you think gifts could motivate people to continue struggling in life? You say, okay, good. And tell us a moment whereby you got a recognition, something like that. So you find they are related, and you're going to find those kind of questions at the end. In the grammar section of the Aptis, you're going to find that it has like 50 questions. In this part, you're going to find the first part is 25 questions. My advice on this part, you are supposed to answer them very fast. You can't spend more than 10 seconds in this first part of 25 questions. Why? Because the time is very limited, and it's going to secure more time in the second part, which is a little bit technical in the sense that you'll find some vocabularies, and those vocabularies you are supposed to check the similarities of some ones, the sentences, which one is similar to this one, which definition concurs to the one, and the completion of the sentences, and lastly they give you like some kind of ones, which one could match with this one. That's what we call the word collocation. So the most important thing is a tip: try to secure the first part of your grammar. Answer very fast, because if you know, you know, and if you don't know, even if you stay for 1 hour, you won't be in a position to know. So the best thing is try to choose. It's very important to mention to use the elimination method also in this part, as we are going to mention in the rest of the stuff. These are like the general recommendations that I could give to you. And as you can see from the presentation, and as I mentioned there before, try to know the format of the exam, try to manage well your time. Remember that the exam always tests the speed and the accuracy. Avoid distractions, and you should have the total concentration, especially when it comes to the listening part of it. When it comes to the listening, from my experience, it's very important to pay attention to the key ideas, because the first thing that you try to read the question gives you to understand a little bit about the context. So once you know the context, you start drawing some inferences that will help you to understand. And from there, you try to pay attention, especially in the middle and the last part of the listening, because that's where they try to bring maybe the right answers from the middle towards the end. And once you finish that one, or else before you start doing the listening, I mean, it's good you read the questions, then you try to read the possible answers. Try to read the questions and the answers so that you can have an idea, so that once you do the first listening, in the case of Aptis, you will be in a position to follow you'll be in a position to understand the context, and you can use the elimination method, because always there is a distractor. And once you do that in the second listening, it will be very clear. It's very important in both in Aptis and Itep, also like in writing and speaking too, you are supposed to use the connectors and the linking ones, because these are the ones that shows literally you have advanced level of English. Ones like, from my point of view, from my perspective, according to me, I strongly believe, all things considered, etc. So it's very important to try and review your connectors. However, nonetheless, nevertheless, or that's in conclusion, to sum up, in a nutshell. So those will give you higher scores. Then lastly, try to focus mostly in the speaking. Try to take care of the pronunciation, stress, the vocalization of the words is very, very important, and the convention and transition when you are answering those questions, okay? And take care of the vocabulary based on every context. And last but not the least, try to be very self-confident, because if you show some kind of hesitation, the examiner is going to detect this person really is panicking, and therefore you lose the scores. As you can see from the reading section, and as we have just mentioned some of it, read the instructions carefully, try to skim the passage first or do the gist that we do have the global idea of what the text is talking about. Try to identify the key information. That's very, very important. And manage your time well. Answer easy questions first if you find that some of them are a little bit tricky. Pay attention to the key ones, okay? Sometimes which is not, which is incorrect, all those kind of things. Okay, practical active reading is very important to be used to reading articles each and every moment. Try to be reading the newspapers and all those, the journals and all that. And review answers. Once you finish, please double check, because sometimes we are not perfect and you could have made a mistake. So it's very important to double check your answer. And even when it comes to the writing, try to check your writing. Try always to secure time for the to review what you have written, because we are not computers. We are always prone to make some mistakes. All right. Good. I'm going to be a little bit fast on this one because I would like us to dedicate more time on this, on the practical part of it. This is just like an example. This is just like an example of some of the texts that we can find when it comes to like the Itep exams and all that. Please, let's try to have somebody, before you come to the main practical, let's try to have somebody to read for us this text, and we try to see if we could be able to answer those questions that we have below there. So, a volunteer, please. Try to turn on your microphone and try to read for us. Somebody. Luz, please, could you choose someone for me, because I'm not seeing the people because I'm on the presentation. Yes, Edith, go ahead.
Ernest, what do you want me to read? Excuse me?
To read that passage. Read that passage.
The passage, okay.
Yes.
Reading sample generic. Title, The Impact of Technology on Education. Technology has become an integral part of education, transforming the way students learn and teachers instruct. As schools embrace digital tools and online resources, both positive and negative effects have emerged. One positive impact of technology in education is the accessibility of information. Students now have the ability to access a vast amount of knowledge at their fingertips, promoting self-direct learning. However, concerns arise about the reliability of online sources and the potential for misinformation. Additionally, technology has revolutionized the classroom environment. Interactive whiteboards, educational apps, and multimedia presentations have made lessons more engaging and interactive. On the flip side, critics argue that an over-reliance on technology may hinder students' critical thinking skills and face-to-face communication abilities. Another notable development is the rise of online courses and virtual classrooms. While these options provide flexibility for learners, they may not suit everyone's learning style. Suit or suit? I think that it's suit.
Yeah.
Traditionalists argue that the physical classroom offers a unique social and collaborative aspect that online education lacks. In conclusion, the impact of technology on education is multifaceted. It brings accessibility to information, enhances engagement, but also raises concerns about the reliability and potential drawbacks. Striking a balance between traditional teaching methods and technological integration is crucial for fostering effective and well-rounded learning environments.
Very excellent, Rudy. Thank you so much. Okay, now from there, we are going to try and answer those questions that we have there. We are going to try and answer those questions there. We are asked, what is one positive impact of technology on education mentioned in the passage? We have answers. Increased reliance on traditional teaching methods, enhanced accessibility to information, limiting engagement in the classroom. So I think, yes, we are there. Number one, what is one positive impact of technology on education mentioned in the passage? So the most important thing here, you need to find out what is the main key ones there in the center. What's the one positive impact of technology? So once you do that one, we need to go back to the text very fast and we try to find the key idea. Okay, so please, for number one, let's try to take 1 minute and try to see who could give us the correct answer for number one. Try to take 1 minute to check. So we shouldn't run to read very fast, find to skim the text as we read to find the key ideas. Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
yeah, in text say is the ensaid accessibility do información. A mí, pues,
That is which paragraph? Which paragraph is that? First or second paragraph? Which paragraph is that?
second paragraph.
Second part. So the answer is in the second paragraph. So please, in the chat, tell us which is the answer, A, B, or C. Please, somebody to tell us that. Write the correct answers there. Let's see. Let us see what is the correct answer. Let's see from the chat. Number one. So we are saying, what is the one positive impact of in technology? Blah, 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 blah. Increased reliance on traditional teaching methods, enhanced accessibility to information, or eliminate engagement in the classroom. Which is the correct answer? Let's see from the chat. Okay. B. Excellent. These are great teachers. Oh my goodness. They are so cute, guys. Very good. That's the correct answer. B is the correct answer. The accessibility to the information. Very good. This is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, let's go back to the second question. Let's go back to the second question. And it says, the second question says, according to the passage, what is a potential drawback of an over reliance on technology in education? Is the negative, could be one of the negative thing on so much reliance to technology? Improved critical thinking skills, hindered face-to-face communication abilities, enhanced collaboration in virtual classrooms. So let us try to go back to the text again. So the negative part, when you rely so much on technology in education. Possible answers: improved critical thinking skills, hindrance to face-to-face communication, enhanced collaboration in virtual classrooms. Okay, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute to find the correct answer. And who can tell us the possible answer is in which paragraph? 1, 2, 3, 4, or the last one? Okay, let's find the answer. Let's go for the answers for number 2. Answers for number 2, please. Write down your answer. Okay, improve critical thinking skills. Now, hindered face-to-face communication ability. Oh my goodness. I think most of your teachers here, you guys, the teachers from UNAD are very intelligent. That's very good. B, correct. That's very good. Okay, guys, that's great. That's great. So by that, you find that one of the things here, because you're going to do more practical, this was just like an iceberg, you've tried to find out the key ones when you read the questions. Then when you also read the text, it's very important to try and skim the text when you're reading. As the time I read, I need to think of the possible questions that can come from there, the key ideas, okay? So thank you so much. This was just like a tip of an iceberg, because many more things are coming afterwards. So just to wind up on this part of the listening, maybe part of it, we are saying practice active listening frequently from different sources, listening to news from the BBC, the CNN, podcasts, etc. Familiarize yourself with the different accent, because we don't only believe that we have only English, the American English, the British English, or Australian English. We have different accents of English in the world. So it's very important to get used to different accents that do exist. understand context and the tone. Yeah, as we mentioned, the first thing when they start speaking, try to pay attention to the context of what they're talking about in the listening. Pay attention to the middle and the last part. Take notes if possible, especially in the last questions of part 4, because sometimes they speak even in Aptis, in Itep as well. They speak for a very long period, and then you are supposed to talk, to give your point of view. What do you think about that? So if you don't pay attention, if you don't take notes, how will you be able to consider or to take in note or what they talked about? So very important when you do those exams, try to have a piece of paper, maybe a pen to jot down the key ideas. Thank you. Focus on key ones as well. Practice time management. This is very important. And predict answers. Sometimes I was telling my student this week, sometimes it's very interesting with the listening questions, just by the fact of reading the questions and checking the answers. At times it is possible to answer the listening question even without listening to the audio. Because you do the elimination method, you look at the context from the answers and the questions, and you can be able to pick the correct answer. So by that, so it means that when you do the listening, you give a click, you are just but to confirm what you have already thought about, you have predicted, in other words. I've mentioned about the elimination method and listen to variety of audio sources. Good. This is just by an example. We are going to do the real. This is an example. This is like an example they have in the item part of it. But later on, we are going to find a practical listening part of it. Let's skip from this one. About the grammar sections, when it comes to the grammar sections in this kind of exams, be mindful of time, as I've mentioned. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. So just don't waste time. Understand the instructions. Very important to pay attention to the keyword, which is the correct, which is incorrect. Read the entire sentence. This is very important because sometimes I tell people, before you choose the possible answer, you need to read the whole sentence until where you have the period or the full stop. Because if I find, for example, I usually to school by bike, and then I usually go to school. I usually walk. So you need to read the whole sentence before you choose, and you could be able to understand the context and the connection of that sentence to identify the grammatical tenses and so on. So that's it. Watch for one choices. That means that pay attention to the meaning of the sentences and select the option that best fits the context. Be aware of the common errors sometimes. We are going to see in the example that we are going to do of the Itep and Aptis, we are going to see how we can identify this kind of errors based on subject-verb agreement, incorrect ones, misplaced modifiers, repeating common mistakes, and so on and so on. Practice with sample questions. And that's it, what we have mentioned about this one. Mostly in both terms, the Itep and the Aptis as well, it's very common to find things related to different grammatical topics like the verb tenses, of course, starting from the present simple, present continuous, present perfect, the future tenses. Conditionals are very common. Particularly in Itep. It's about the modalities. It's very important to know about them. For permission, obligation, strong obligation, so like a would, must, should, could, etc. And pronouns, the possessives, the WH questions, and etc. Reporting speech and so on. We are going to find them when it comes to the practical part of it. I'm not going to repeat anything more about the reading. I've already talked about it. So that's it. And this just by like a sample of the writing part of it. And the most important thing here, as I mentioned here, is to know very well the structure, the format of the writing. For instance, if you know that Itep is more of the American exam, therefore, if you're going to say hi, you are not going to say hi, but hey friend. If you don't put the comma, you are going to be penalized just because of not putting the comma. So pay attention to comma. If it is a British, the Aptis exam, which is British exam, you are supposed to say hi, not hey. Yeah, of course they'll understand, but it's always good to understand the context of which you are presenting the exam. finally, as you close here, in the first paragraph, it's very important you mention the reason or the motive of your writing. Remember, in the informal letter, you are not supposed to, the informal letter, you are not supposed to use the formal languages. You are supposed to use the contractions where possible. You can greet the person. And in the body part, you develop it and the conclusion as well. But the most complicated thing is in the formal writing. In the formal writing, no greeting of the person. It's a presupposes that you don't know the person, so there is no need of greeting the other people. You go directly to the writing and try to use advanced expressions. First and foremost, I'm writing this letter to make a claim in regard to the object that I bought from your company, blah, 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 etc. Show the reason from the beginning. In the conclusion, in the informal, you can use all these expressions that shows the affection kind of it. Take care, best regards, with love, best wishes, etc. But for the formal writing, both in Aptis and Itep, you're supposed to, the closing off should be you are sincerely. Sometimes we do say like you are faithful, especially when you don't know the person. You are faithful, but I recommend always to use you are sincerely. These are some of the prototype exams that you can, questions that you can find in the writing part of it. Like your friend is in New York and as invited, then maybe write a short note, maybe asking them what you're supposed to carry for the trip. Or maybe you have a friend you want to congratulate him for the wedding, blah, etc. So those are typical examples. This is another example now for the formal one. Dear Andrew Mark Smile, okay, comma, etc. And then you are sincere, as I was mentioning. You put the comma here. If you don't put, you're gonna be in problem. All right, so that's all about the writings, and therefore I think we are going to move next to these are practical questions that we can find there. For instance, the essay, especially for the writing of the essay questions. Some people think that rich countries should help the poor countries. However, some people think that each country should be independent. What is your opinion about this? So you should know when it comes to the writing of the essay, let me mention this one is very important. And I'm going to give you like a sample down here. The writing of the essay, depending, let's not talk about the IELTS exam because IELTS, that's you're supposed to write about 250 ones. But in the Itep and Aptis, you're supposed to write like a 5-paragraph essay. The first paragraph should be to give your thesis, that is like your point of view. You mention your point of view and you mention the 2 reasons that you're going to use to embark your writing. Then in the second paragraph, you're supposed to develop the first reason. Second paragraph, you are supposed to develop the second argument. The fourth paragraph, you're supposed to write your contraposition about it. And lastly, you are supposed to give your conclusion by mentioning your thesis using some other ones. Good. Here, we are going to find an example. Here, I wrote a short essay based on what is your point of view or what is your opinion about writing of the what is point of view about the use of the cell phone in the schools. Please, you are going to find that I've written some ones in red to show maybe some of the key ones, the connectors, linking ones that we need to use and so on. Therefore, to have an idea, you are going to find that in my first paragraph, I've written my point of view and my 2 arguments that I'm going to use. That's emergency and contact. Then the development of the second paragraph, the then contraposition, and in the last one, to conclude. When it comes to conclusion of any opinion writing, it's very important to give your proposal. What are you proposing? Therefore, let me ask somebody else to read for us this short essay before we continue. We are almost going to the practical parts. But before that, let's hear somebody who is going to read for us this opinion essay to see what we are supposed to write in the Aptis and the Itep as well. Any volunteer? Any volunteer? Somebody to read for us. Raise up your hand.
Hello, I can do it.
Teacher.
Okay, that's good. Edwin, yeah, right?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, go ahead. Thanks so much.
Right. So, what is your opinion on the use of cell phones in the school? Nowadays, more and more students bring their mobile phones to school. While I believe that students should carry mobile phones in case of an emergency or contact, I am strongly opposed to phones being used at school, particularly in the classroom. Firstly, many students travel to and from school without their parents. Therefore, they need to have a mobile phone in case they need some help or have an accident on the way to school or home. Furthermore, parents who work may need to contact their children. For instance, if a parent has to work late, the student has to be told if arrangement have been made for a relative or neighbor to look after them. On the other hand, nothing is more disruptive during a lesson than the sound of a mobile phone ringing or playing an annoying tune. Moreover, students who send and receive text messages in class are not paying attention to the lesson. In a nutshell, I feel that students should be allowed to take mobile phones to school for use in an emergency and context. Nevertheless, all phones should certainly be turned off during lessons.
Very good, Mr. Edwin. So this is like a typical kind of example that we could have in the writing, a simple one, but a very clear example of this one. Okay, then the rest you could have the different type of questions that you can easily find in the writing section of the essay about a world of technology and communications. It's affecting people in a positive or negative way. So what's your opinion? About some people think that studying in a private university is better than studying in a private university, what's all that. So you just go through these questions, and I believe that by going through these samples, at least you'll have like a knowledge of what you could expect in any kind of the writing. All right. As we close our speaking part section, we've said about the time management, language use, organize, etc. Transition once, transition, etc. Practice regularly. This is like another sample questions that maybe we could find in any kind of the exam, especially the Itep part. They'll tell you listen and read a short questions, prepare and speak. Some they'll give you time to prepare and then you're supposed to speak about it. Okay, so the most important thing here, you'll be very creative to come up with the new ideas. Okay, so in that case, we are going to try to see if people could be in a position to put this in practice. Before we come to the actual practice section, maybe let's have like some volunteers of who could try to answer these questions, and we feel if at all you are able to answer in a very advanced way. Let's have volunteers. We are going to talk about this sample part. Talk about your family. What do you like to do when you meet with your friends? What could be the best place to bring up a child? A big city or in the countryside. Tell me a time when you worked with a team. What were the pros and cons of working together? Do you prefer to work alone as part of a team or what? And when you look at here, these are typical questions, especially for the Aptis. The very typical questions for the Aptis. And therefore, I'm going, even like number 1 and 2 also is a typical question for the Itep. I'm going to ask somebody to answer question number 1. And depending on how you're going to answer that question, I'm going to correct or you're going to help you. How are you supposed to answer that question? Answer it, and depending on your answer, I'm going to tell you, is it okay? Out of 5, what score could you get? Please, let's have a volunteer, somebody to talk about the family. Talk about your family. And you're supposed to stop for 30 seconds, not more than 30 seconds. Any volunteer? Remember, we said the secret of this exam is to show the importance of what you asked and justify. So let's have somebody. Number 1, talk about your family. Diana, I can see there. Diana Isabel, please. All right, are you ready? Try. That's what you came for. We are adding to the practical parts, but let's have you, please.
Okay. Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm going to try. Okay. Okay. Well, about my family, 30 seconds, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, my family is composed by 4 people, my 2 sons and my husband. My older son is Juan Felipe. They are really important to me because they're my everything. I really enjoy spending time with them. And well,
That's
I don't know what else to
It's only 30
add.
seconds are gone. That's good. Thank you.
Yes.
You're almost to get stuck, but you've already saying. You have answered it correctly, Diana. But something that you need to mention, yeah, you have shown who comprises your family and you have shown the importance of your family. But you missed something very important, to use an connector that can show an advanced levels. That's in that case, you could have said basically. You see, why one like basically is the one that's very important. Yeah. Basically, my family is comprised of my husband, my kids. And then you continue justifying. Okay.
Okay, yes.
So
Thank
very good, Diana. That's a good trial. That's very good. Let's give a clap to Diana. Very good. Now let's go to question number 2. What do you like to do when you meet with your friends? Remember, show the importance, justify. Another volunteer. Somebody, please. Who is ready to participate? Yes. Lina Maria, are you ready to participate? Please try. Nobody is perfect here. Lina Maria, try. Edith, very good. I like Edith. That's a good colleague. Edith, please, let's go. Number 2.
I'm gonna try. Okay, what I like to do when meeting my friends is like outside activities. As I work in UNAT, what I enjoy a lot is going out, like for example, fishing or go swimming or go to a park. I do prefer having meetings with friends who've got kids because as I got a one kid, one 12-year-old kid, I enjoy going out with her and speaking. So if I can share with my, like in the adults team, she can share with kids and I feel secure and okay sharing. Also, something that I like doing is, for instance, having a lunch because for me, like a morning time, it's very busy. So I don't like waking up early when I don't go to work. I prefer staying at home and relax. So those are the things I like doing when meeting my friends.
Very good. Really good, Edith, for your answer. But also you passed and you talked for 1 minute and almost 20 seconds. But you say 30 seconds. But it's very good. The answer is very okay. The answer is very okay. You just need to try and synthesize. Synthesize your answer so that it be very concise. Okay. And then you can add like an expression that give taste, yeah, for this kind of context. You can start by saying, honestly, you can say, honestly, one of the things like I do in order to kill the boredom is to hang out with my friends. For this reason, I usually go out with my friends and we share different moments, for instance, having food or sharing food for this reason. See, you start with those kinds of connectors, okay? You can basically, when I meet my friends, honestly, or definitely when I meet with my friends, all those kind of things. But thank you so much, Edith. Let's go for another one. You see, as we go high, 1, 2, 3, the questions are becoming hard. Now let's go to question number 3. And the person that is going to talk is supposed to speak for 45 seconds. 45 seconds, okay? Please, who is going to talk about what could be the best place to bring up a child? A big city or in the countryside? Wow. Think about it. Show your point of view in this kind of question. After you show your point of view, give the arguments, and after the arguments, you can give an example. Let's go. Practice makes perfect. Please, let's participate, teachers. Let's try to participate. Yes. I wish to have volunteers. I think we are going to ask monitor to help me to choose the people in random. That's a randomly. Edith, you are a very good teacher. Yes. Edith, I'm going to select you to be the monitor. Yes? Do you agree? Edith? Or yes, please choose somebody for me. Or I choose randomly. If not, I'm going to choose randomly. Who is going to speak? Let me choose Since I don't see people raising up their hands, let's choose somebody to talk about it. Camila Duarte. Camila Duarte, please try to answer number 4 for us. Number 3, what could be the best place to bring up a child or to rear a child in a big city or in the countryside? Camila Duarte. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. So I thought this training teaches for us to practice together. It's not so much for me to speak and speak and speak. So it's for us to try and help one another or each other. Who is ready to answer this question? Carolina Santris, thank you so much. I believe for us teachers is very important for us. Sometimes we have the STTs, we have STT maybe with the student, but sometimes we feel annoyed when the student don't participate. But then we are the teachers now. Let's try to learn to put ourselves in the shoes of the others. Now it's our turn as teachers to try and practice. So please, by the moment you practice, you help another teacher to improve. Okay, very good, Carolina. Let's go ahead. What could be the best place to bring up a child? In a big city or in the countryside? Big city or the urban area? Yes, good.
So, in my opinion, according to the question, the best place for me to bring up a child could be a big city because it's really necessary for them to have a good opportunities to improve themselves according to education, according to social relations, and also they need to share a lot of maybe thoughts with a lot of people. On the contrary, in the countryside is so far away. So that means that they are not going to have a lot of contact with people. And nowadays, it's so important to take this kind of advantage in all the contexts, in all the fields, because it opened a lot of opportunities when they are bringing up, of course. It is related to maybe childhood. On the other side, maybe could be in, as I told you, social relationship, and it is so necessary now because maybe we have lost a lot of contact, okay, with face to face. So I think it's better to have this kind of um place, okay, to bring up a child, a big city.
Okay, thank you so much. Wonderful, Karina, for that participation. Yeah, because you have given your point of view, good. You have given very interesting arguments, and you have given an example of nowadays what you're supposed to do. What could I earn for you, Carolina? What could I advise you to improve in order to get a good score in that question? Maybe instead of saying, in my opinion, because when you say in my opinion as a connector or link ones, that one shows the level of like A2 of English. A2. So in order to take on that, it's better use expression like from my perspective or from my point of view. Yeah, from my point of view, my perspective, those two shows like the C1, C2 of English. When you use I strongly believe or to my way of thinking, they show like B2 of English. And then when you say, in my opinion, that's like A2. And when you see, to me, I think those are like A1 of English. Okay, thank you so much, Carolina, for that. Let's go to the last one. The last one, you are supposed to speak for 2 minutes continuously. You are supposed to take maybe 1 minute to prepare, but I don't give you time to prepare because of time, but you're supposed to speak continuously. Number 4, tell me a time when you worked with a team. Wow. What were the pros and cons of working together? And do you prefer to work alone or as part of a team? Wow. This is a very complex question, but of course it tests like C1, C2 of English. But let's go. This question I'm going to choose Sari Rocio Ospina Bernal. That's a good calling. You are the one to answer, and then Omar Martinez, you are going to answer. The two of you, you will speak about that question. Yes, Sari, only I give you 15 seconds to prepare. Are you there, Sari? Teacher Sari, Rocio. Please don't go off. Omar, are you there? Yeah, you are ready. Yes.
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Yeah, good. Let's go. Let's go. Men are always ready.
No, teacher, for the moment, I'm not prepared to talk about that. Sorry. Because
Okay.
it's a little difficult for me.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. But thank you for being there. And somebody else who want to practice. This is a very complicated question, but who can try?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Yeah, Leonardo.
Yeah,
Good,
I would like to give it a try.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Could you please ask me the questions?
Tell me a time when you worked with a team and what were the pros and cons of working together? And lastly, do you prefer to work alone or as part of a team? That's a question number 4, 1, 2, and 3. Yes, you can see the presentation. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to improvise a little bit. Back in the day, I vividly remember working with some peers because we need to get the job done. It was a Spanish assignment that we had to send at university. So it was an ordeal that I had at first because we weren't able to get an agreement because some people were working while others were studying. But for that reason, this is one of the reasons as to why I don't like to work with a team, because sometimes we don't know what to do. And for that reason, I prefer to study single-handedly. But in that time, I remember that after struggling a little bit, we get to work together. And what I like about this situation is that we were able to exchange ideas that enable us to create an excellent job. And for that reason, we were able to get a good score in that assignment. And now that if you ask me, I'm going to say that I'm inclined to believe that working alone, it's advantageous because you can manage your time. However, if you have the opportunity to work together with others, it's highly likely that you're gonna improve in what you want to send in terms of work, because you can exchange ideas, and the bottom line is that you're gonna improve, and then the things that you're gonna share are gonna be fruitful. I think that I don't know what to say. I think that's pretty much it.
No, thank you so much, Leonardo, for that try. It's very interesting that you have answered. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Let's give a clap to him. That's very good, because you see, most of us could not answer, but he tried. Very good. Thank you. So guys, that's just like a sample of what we could expect in those kind of questions. The other questions that are very simple, like in the Itep, they could ask you this kind of a question. Talk about your favorite color. Do you prefer dark colors or light colors? Which colors can change the way you feel, what you feel? So just to have an idea. Okay. And let's go to the next part of it. We just move. Now, I think we are going, because of time, we are going now to get in the real practice, guys. We are going to get in the real practice. And for this matter, I kindly ask that let us be ready to participate, because we are going to have like few samples of different aspects. We are supposed to be very, very alert with the time, because some questions here are based on time. So these are some of the links that we are going to practice, with which we are going to practice. So let me try to share. Let me try to share the website whereby we are going to practice. Okay. And we are going to start. We are going to start with the Itep kind of it. Let me see, because this is exactly what happens when it comes to the Itep. We are going to try to practice a little bit about Itep, and after that, we are going to share we are going to practice about the Aptis. So please, could you confirm to me if you can see my screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
I can
good.
see.
So we have two parts of the idea. The first part is just like a preview to show you what happens when it comes to the presentation of the Aptis. And then from there, we have some typical questions whereby you are going to practice more. So when it comes to the item,
These directions will be repeated as you make your adjustments.
so they give
You will
the
also be able to adjust the volume during the test.
You hear the audio, it's okay. And then you go, okay. And then you say, this is a microphone test, okay. And then you say, this is a microphone test, Yeah, it's all right. Then from there, we test the camera. Yeah, and it's used by another person. It's okay. It doesn't recognize it because it's being used. It's being used. Oh my God. See that the camera is being used by another person. My goodness. Close any other program. No, we are not going to close anyway. And no problem. We are going to have another one that does not ask me about the camera, because after it asks you the camera, you confirm, and then it's going to ask you some details. You write your name, the institution where you come from, your first language, Spanish in this case, and then from there it gives you some practical questions based on the 4 skills. They give you some question about the speaking, the writing, the listening, and the reading. So later on, I could share with you. Let me share with you the link in the chat, and maybe in your free time and so on, you could try to practice maybe on your own. Let me share with you this link. Just give me a second. Where is the text? Okay. Preview text. Preview Itep tests. Okay, that's a preview for the Itep, and therefore let us try to do the other one, the grammar part of it, which is also very interesting, and we shall have an idea about that. So give me a second. I try to share it. Let's share. All right, good. So in this aspect of the grammar, let's try to participate, all of us. Also, I think I should share with you the link as well. Maybe it could be useful for you later on. Yes, there you have also the link for the grammar part of it. Good. Okay, let's start in the practical part of it. Number 2, 3, 1, let's go. Let me answer. What is the answer for number 1? For number 1, a luxury car is expensive than an economy car. What is the answer? A, B, C, or D? Please, let's activate our microphone. Say Alexa car is more expensive than an economy.
D, more.
More? Okay, more. C. Very good. Okay, we are going to see the outcome at the end. So let's go. And we're saying in this part we need to be very fast, because the other part will be complicated. Having opportunity like this, we say that we are supposed to read the whole sentence before we choose. Having plan opportunity like this is incredibly fortunate. Having an opportunity. Very good. B. Okay. Let's go to number 3. Many say that breakfast is meal of the day. Meal of the day.
C.
The most important. Okay, very good. Let's go. Let's go to the next one. I think taking another English class would be the best decision for
D.
for
B.
D for us.
No.
For us. D.
D.
Okay, for us. Okay. Okay, for us. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Set which part of the sentence is incorrect. Now we check the one that is incorrect. Dressed in her best suit and with a confident smile, Emily is sure to make a good impression being at the job interview. Okay.
What?
Chase the incorrect. Dressed in her best suit and with a confident smile, Emily is sure to make a good impression.
A.
To make to make a good impression. Let's teachers, let's
Is
have all of us.
being.
I think it's being, yeah.
Being.
You see.
Yeah,
Okay,
being.
I also think
Sí.
so. Being.
Yeah, I think it's being.
Good impression and the job.
Okay.
Okay, being very incorrect.
Being.
Very good. Let's go. So you see, this one requires teachers analysis. Let's go to the second part. Incorrect. Which part of that is incorrect? Devon no longer has the book that the teacher had given him because he was leaving it in the library.
Was leaving.
Was leaving. Devon no longer has the book that the teacher had given because he was leaving it. Uh-huh. Do we agree? See? Do we agree? Was leaving? I think so, yeah. Because he and left. There shouldn't be he and left it in the library. But now they say that the correct answer should be he and left it in the library. But they say he was leaving. So
Left.
nothing C.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Okay, let's go to the next. Select which part of the sentence is incorrect. It was the substitute teacher to which she gave her report.
A, which.
A.
Very good.
Yeah.
To
A,
identify
yeah.
exactly. To the relative clauses, written to the people goes to who, not which. Very good.
Yeah, to who.
Next, select which part of the sentence is incorrect. Adventure novels are often about fantastic journeys, great deeds, and the hero as bad luck. Tell me, I'm not going to say the right answer. Tell me, teachers, let's go.
C. And the hero.
Which is the incorrect?
And C, maybe.
Adventure novels are often about fantasy journey, great deeds, and the hero. Great deeds.
D, maybe.
D. Somebody says D. And
Yes,
this one?
D.
Very good.
D.
Yeah, exactly. Deans. The hero has bad luck. Very good. Okay. Let's go to the next. Vegetables. These ones are easier. Vegetables are to eat than breads and desserts.
B. Okay. B.
Vegetables are healthier. B. Very good. Healthier than comparison. Very good. Next one. We select which part of the sentence incorrect again. Since many test takers ride their bikes to school, others walk, take the bus, blah, blah, blah. Okay, which is the incorrect? Well, others to walk, take the bus, or drive their cars. Which is the correct answer? Teachers, let's analyze very well. Since. Good. Since. Very good. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to the next. I will finish my essay tonight. I have to stay up all night. I will finish my essay tonight. I will finish my essay tonight. You see, the intonation is very important. I will finish my essay tonight.
B.
Even if?
B.
Even if, yeah.
Very good, teachers. Very good. Let's have more participants. Very good, teachers. Next, which select which is incorrect? Much, my goodness, much doctors urge their patient to exercise.
My God. Okay, much.
Very good. That's the meaning, not much. Very good, teachers. Next, Professor Hillman campus suddenly this morning, so this afternoon's class is cancelled. Professor Hillman.
A. Had to leave.
Had to leave.
Yeah.
C.
Very good. What? Another one?
I think it's A.
Very good. So, very good. We don't need to waste time here. Very good. Next, they couldn't buy tickets because they didn't have any money. Any for negatives and for negatives and
any money.
Any. Very good. Let's go, teachers. Let's move. Which one is incorrect? One of Van Gogh's paintings from his famous Sunflower series were recently sold at auction, bazaar, at auction for unprecedented sum of money. What's the answer? The incorrect one. Check the sentence.
A, where?
A,
Where?
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 A.
Yeah, one of, because it's a one of. Very good.
Singular.
Okay, very good. Next. We are halfway. We have 32 more. Which part of this is incorrect? Although you read today's newspaper, you may come across an article about tornadoes. Okay. Although you read today's newspaper, you may come across an article about tornadoes. You read today's newspaper,
Although.
you may come across you you read today's
Although.
there's an article about an
B.
article. What is the answer?
B.
B. Very good. Although. Okay. Very good, teachers. You see, we are testing our grammatical capacity. If we know, we know. If we don't know, but we can use the elimination method. Starting at a new
Scary.
school,
A.
can sometimes be
Scary.
scared,
No.
scary,
B.
B.
Scary.
B.
Yeah.
scary. B. This one
Scary.
Yeah.
is scary. Very good. Very good. And next, I haven't been to a football game very long time.
4.
Very
Or
good. Yeah, we answer within
Yeah,
4
C.
seconds. We choose. Very good. Very simple. The incorrect. As it turned out, she would have preferred being alone rather than her family, rather than her family. Whoosh, is going to be there. Oh my goodness, sounds weird. Rather than her whole family is going to be there. What is the incorrect one?
Going to be.
Which one? Oh,
It's going to be.
going to be good. Read the text and the context in the structure of the sentence you get. Okay, very good. Next, very easy. 3 seconds. By the time I finish reading the chapter, 2 hours. 2 hours.
BC.
B.
Had passed.
had passed.
Half past or hand past?
No. Had
B.
passed.
Had
BC.
passed.
Hand past.
Mhm.
Excellent. Very good. Next, that one is not. It belongs to my friend. It belongs to my friend. That one is not possessive. That one is
Yours.
C.
Sí.
C.
Sí, yours.
Sí.
very good. That one is not yours. Excellent. Number one, the next. Let the shopping center to go home as he ran out of money. Let the shopping center to go home as
As soon as he ran out of money.
as soon as they run out of money. Good. Next, please, if you're not participating, try to mute your mic.
Sorry. It's really noisy.
I think it's Gloria's
Mic
mic.
off.
Gloria. Okay. Select which part of the sentence is incorrect. The vegetarian restaurant along the street behind the coffee shop serves delicious food for a very reasonable price. Which is incorrect? The vegetarian restaurant along the street behind the coffee shop. So, Teachers, which one?
Along? Maybe
Along.
D?
Yeah.
So you try to check the position delicious food for, okay, along. So delicious along, okay.
Yes, along.
Good. This one is very easy. The girls in my math class, very intelligent. The answer
are.
very good. This is like for A1. This is A1 teachers, very good. Good. The next incorrect. Select which part of the sentence is incorrect. The dromedary is part of the camel, yeah? The dromedary, which is a native to a desert areas of West Asia, has only one hand. So
A. The desert parties.
Dromedary, yes, because there is the same. Okay. Yeah, very good. And which one is incorrect? We are almost to finish this part, teachers. Please, let's try to go. Let's go.
Planted.
Which is Helen helped her father. Oh,
A.
when you read
Planted.
here, you feel as a teacher,
A.
you read it. Helen helped her father plant it, which you feel something
B.
is wrong. Yeah, exactly. Something is wrong. So you don't waste time there. Next, which is incorrect. His favorite summer activities include his favorite summer activities include surfing, bike riding, and to play baseball with his friends.
To play A.
Which one?
Play.
To play.
To play.
A.
Baseball.
Play.
Play.
To play
Okay, favorite
baseball.
summer activity include to play baseball and to play baseball. Okay, and so to play baseball.
Yes.
Okay, let's
Yes.
go. Let's see at the end. Which is incorrect. Tell me, teachers, tell me. Most of the specimens in the lab have been carefully prepared by any test taker.
Any.
You agree?
Any. Yes.
Okay, by any test taker. Good. We have
No.
4 more questions. Last week, Paul met with his advisor. Last week?
Was the first time.
Was the first time?
Okay, was the first time. Let's go. We have 3 more. We finish. After you finish with the first exercise, please on to the following exercise. After you finish with the first exercise, please.
Continue.
D. Continue.
Okay, good. We have 2 more. Incorrect. Which part of the sentence is incorrect? I was planning to attend the party, but then I had remembered. But then I remembered the Sylvia's. Okay, what is the?
Had remembered.
The C.
Remember.
Which here you know
Letter
there's
C.
something is wrong here. Very good. And the last, no, penultimate, yeah. The event was a total success. The hour when it rained and everyone had to wait inside. The event was a total success.
A.
Except for the hour when it rained. Perfect. And the last one, and we find the scores. The last one, a luxury car is expensive than an economy car.
More.
C.
More expensive. Finish, teachers. The scores. I know there was one more. My goodness. Having opportunity like this is incredible for you.
And.
And.
An opportunity.
Having an opportunity like this. Okay. And then, why are they giving us more questions? My goodness, and it was all. Many say that breakfast is maybe something went wrong. What happened?
The most important.
The most.
It is repeating.
The repeating.
It is repeating.
Yeah, we started over again.
Sí.
They are asking us to submit. Yeah.
Submit.
Now we submit. Yeah, okay. The most important, then we submit. Sorry. My medicine that breakfast is the most important. Yeah, right. And then we have to submit. I think taking another English would be the best decision for us. We say that right. Because when we reach to the 29, okay, yeah, we say Emily is to make a good impression of being at the job. We say which one was the incorrect? Being, yeah? We say being. We say being. So once we get to 32, no, we have to submit a star. I think let's submit it because it's taking us behind. Submit, okay. They say for an answer, okay. So we have said here. What was the one here? What is the answer here? Different no longer as the book. What did we say was the incorrect? He was leaving it in the library.
He was leaving.
He was leaving. Yeah. No, it's taking us back, guys. It's taking us. We are going to submit it the way it is. 27 out of 32. Let's submit it. No problem. Yeah. The way, just to have an idea. Yeah, because maybe of those that we did not answer, it was taking us back. But at least we can say that was a good score, teachers. That was a good score. Maybe here, you can say here, a luxury car. The ones that it were repeating, yeah. But the rest was okay, teachers. So congratulations on that one. Give a clap to yourself. That's very good. That's very good, teachers. Congrats. And that was like an Itep kind of it. And therefore, I would wish that maybe I show you a little bit about the Aptis, because this is like the new exam for most of us. So let's try to check something here about the Aptis itself, and you are going to find something amazing. I'm just going to show you how it's organized. And sorry. Share. Let's see where you can share. Compartir. Okay, so as you can see here, I for some of you it will be the first time to see this kind of exam of the Aptis. And the Aptis is organized in okay. So let's try to mute our microphones for a moment, please, before we go do the practice. And here, as you can see, the structure is very easy. You come to the Aptis, you give a click here. And as we said, we are going to do only one or two. We are going to do two listening to try to apply what we have learned, and then we go to another skill. So let's try to check here the question. They tell us, your new host father, Paul, is going to collect you at the airport. Where will he be waiting? So teachers, here as we are talking, let's try to identify what are some of the possible answers even before we listen. They say, next to the clothes store. Is it possible to find this place in the airport? Next to the clothes store? That he'll be waiting for you, he'll be waiting you there. Is it possible for him to wait for you at the taxi rank? Yes, possibly in the airport, there could be the taxi rank where the taxis wait for the people. It's possible. So B is a possible answer. What about in the departures area? Is it possible for him to wait for you in the departures area?
No.
No, because departures
No.
area when people are leaving the airport, right? They're waiting for to aboard the plane. What about by the currency exchange shop? It's possible because it presupposes that people can go and change the money there. So we have the possible answers. We have D, B, next to the cluster Morris. It's not very possible, but the most possible answer are there in the taxi rank and by the currency exchange. Let us pay attention and see if we can find maybe the main information, especially in the main row and at the end, in the main row and at the end. So let's go, let's listen. Key ideas.
Question 1. Your new host father, Paul, is going to collect you at the airport. Where will he be waiting?
Hi, it's your new host, Mother Jane. Remember that Paul is collecting you from the airport when you arrive. I will make it as easy as possible for you to find him. He'll be wearing black shoes, blue jeans, and his favourite brown jacket. You will see him in the arrivals area, stood next to the currency exchange shop. Have a safe journey.
Paul will be waiting for you. 1. In the departures area. 2. Next to the clothes store. 3. By the currency exchange shop. 4. At the taxi rank.
Where will we be waiting?
The last one.
By the currency exchange shop.
By the
Very
currency
good,
exchange.
teacher. Very good. By the currency exchange. So you see, they mentioned the answer, especially towards the end, the middle or towards the end. Very good. Let's do the second one, and then we switch off from this one, and I show something else. Okay, number 2. Your boss calls to tell. Now, Diana, read for us that question. Yes.
Diana? Okay. Your boss calls to tell you where tomorrow's conference will be. Where is the United Center?
Yeah, where is the Unity Center? The Unity Center.
Unity.
So this point here, we try to understand where is the Unity Center. And because they're saying the location of the conference area. So we are paying attention to the location exactly, not the process where you will be passing, but the location. So let's pay attention. And we have the option, opposite the roundabout. Opposite the roundabout, is it possible? Okay. Near the police station. Yeah, that one is very possible. Yes. Before the traffic lights. That's like in the process of going there, yeah? Right. Before the traffic lights, before. So it's maybe. Inside the town hall. Maybe. So let's pay attention, especially to the inside the town hall, near the police station, and maybe before the traffic lights. But opposite order, not that much. Let's go.
Question 2. Your boss calls to tell you where tomorrow's conference will be. Where is the Unity Center?
Good afternoon, this is Sarah. I've heard you will be driving to the Unity Center tomorrow, so here are some directions from our office. Go towards the traffic lights, then take a right. After you pass the town hall, take the third exit at the roundabout. Keep going for 500 meters and you will see the Unity Centre right behind the police station.
The Unity Centre is located 1. Near the police station. 2. Before the traffic lights. 3. Opposite the roundabout. 4. Inside the town hall.
Where? Where?
Near the police station.
Near the police station.
Near the police station.
Very good. Near the police station. Excellent. So you see, teachers, it's very easy. It's very easy when you apply the tips that I told you. Pay attention to the key ones, especially in the middle and towards the end, and it will be okay. Okay, now, because of time, teachers, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you here, after the listening, you are going to find the reading, and the reading here as well of the item, or the Aptis, sorry. We are going to find very easy. You give a click. You see, it's like a letter. You see, it's like a letter. It's supposed to be a bed, comma. Are you going to there? And then you select. It's very easy. Is it in the city center, for example? It's the city center. Could you tell me who it is going to take place? So where? The president, okay, what? Can you tell me when it is going to take place? Okay, when? Somebody saying we might need maybe to tell, to give, to speak, maybe to give a presentation, yeah?
Give
I
a
am
presentation.
going home soon.
Yes,
So
give a
call me.
presentation.
Call me. What's the answer? Call me.
As soon as.
As soon
As soon as possible.
Very good. Thanks in
Advance.
Advance.
And you get part one. That's already given part one. Imagine Aptis. To be honest with you, guys, to be honest with you, Aptis is easier than Itep, to be honest. So, especially the general one. Then you come part two. You are going to put these sentences in order. So see, that's what you're supposed to organize them. You which is the correct one, etc. Then this is another part to about the program, also to order them, which one is the first one. And the last one, part 3 of the reading. So you're going to choose maybe the possible person that talks about this one. So the idea here, you try to see, okay, person A, you try to read the key ideas of the person that is here. It's very easy. And part 4, this one also, you try to select the subtopics here, the headings, and you compare them with this one. That's all. And as we wind up, we are going to find the writing. I'm going to show you how writing is easy, very easy. When it comes to the writing in the Aptis, you are supposed first of all to write your email here. For example, you write your email there and you say, start the exam. Once you start, you see the part 1 is about your name. You write your names. The most important, the first letter should be in caps, capital letter. The date of birth, for example, you are supposed to write just like, let's say, Dari. Then here you are supposed to write in caps, the first one, June. And then here you are supposed to write, for example, the year that you are born, like that. Good. So then the city you write, etc., etc. Your interest here, as I was mentioning, you are supposed to write a complete sentence and show the importance. Then part 2, you are going to find in that ones you're supposed to give reasons why you are interested in sports. Just show the justification and arguments. Part 3, you are going to, here you have the chats. You have Jane, Samuel, and Alicia. They ask you, it's like a chat on the WhatsApp. Hi, Jenny. Well, welcome to the club. When did you start playing sport? Did you find it difficult? So using the connectors, the linking ones, justification, try to write there. You answer. Very good. So that's about it. And the last part, which is the most complicated in Aptis, is writing of the letter. Imagine the letter to your friends, the informal letter, 51s. Okay, and then the formal one here. Please, that's all about it. Okay, then you'll find the speaking. They'll give you the information here. And as you can see, once you give a click here, down there is a recording. You can record. Actually, in the Aptis, these mocks, you can do it and they give you the scores immediately. Only the speaking and the writing they don't give you, but you can download what you have done. For instance, here you come and you find questions here. You see, for instance, tell me about your family. Okay. you go, you see, describe the picture. Then they ask you, tell me about
Part. I'm going to ask you to look at the pictures, then ask you 3 questions.
You continue, you see the 2 pictures. You speak about these 2 pictures, okay, to compare and contrast. And lastly, you are going to find this last question. This is the last question, the Aptis, for instance. Tell me a time when you worked with the team, the one that I was asking you actually. And yeah, the grammar part, I think it's just like the grammar part is just like, yeah, I'm just going to show you. We are not going to answer everything, but just to show you because of the time. It has 25 grammar questions and 25 that are vocabulary. So once we start here, we are going to find that it is a very simple thing, past 1. This is a city where I was born, for instance. You go next, okay? So you continue until you come to the second part here. You come to the second part and you see now these ones. They ask questions about the similarities. Maybe big is lunch. So hurry is rush. Yes. Open is like unlock, right? Climb is kara. Climb is go up. Steal is, what is steal?
Drop.
Rob, very good. Keep is
Say.
say, very good. This is very easy. You come to the other part, complete the definitions. So you choose the definitions here. To help someone is you go on and maybe you try to think. Assist. Very good. Teachers, we are finishing. Please, let's just hold like 3-5 more minutes maximum. To challenge someone is to challenge. Confront. Very good. To submerge something is to
immerse.
To submerge.
Immerse.
To immerse. To arrive somewhere is to
reach.
To arrive somewhere is to
reach.
To reach. Very good. Okay. To cover something is to cover something is to cover. Hide. Very good.
Hide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hide. And then you come. I want to show how simple it is. Complete sentence user 1 from the drop down list. She will be 70 years old when she has finished paying off for her house to the bank. How do we call the loan that we get for the
mortgage?
Mortgage. Very good.
Mortgage.
The teacher took the children out to walk in there, and they was complained. To walk in there, maybe the most possible one is the country, all right? Like a country sign, they have an idea. Maybe we have an idea, okay? She denied that she had never been for an extremist group.
Member.
Like member. Very good. You should go to the regularly, otherwise you might put on the weight.
Gym.
Very good. That one we always know, yeah. It was the strangest house I have ever visited. It had and select full garden. Okay. So you are going to find all that. You feel teachers. Use elimination method when you feel, this one is a little bit complicated. Which one is closer? So, okay, maybe this miss. You try to find the most closer. And then you go to this other part, meaning of the ones. Big lunch. Employment, you go to employment is there. Maybe like a what? For example, customize the
Work.
Customize.
Client.
Shop is the shop.
Store.
Pavement is the
road.
Sidewalk.
Very good.
Sidewalk.
Independence
Autonomy.
is autonomy. Excellent. See how simple it is. Then we go to the last part and then we finish. Select one from the list that is most often used with the one on the left. Okay. These are like the collocations that we are talking about. Heavy.
Traffic.
Good. Broken.
Hard.
Broken heart.
Okay. Maiden, maybe dead. Oh my good. We don't know. So you say you leave. Maiden. We don't know. Okay, we go to this one. Okay. Rough. Borrador. Rough draft. Maybe.
Draft.
Rap.
Yeah, exactly. And then you come to this one. Oh, which one is closer? Maybe the closer. Dent. Maybe dent what? Dent. Dead what?
Hours.
Dead. What? Dead farming.
Dead hours.
Dead
Hours, maybe.
Horas muerta. Dead hours. You said hours. Okay. And then maiden. Maiden maybe farming kind of virgencito. Farming the first time in their own. Okay, guys. So basically, this is like that. And then from there, you are free, reach the end. You submit, okay? So it's going to send you, it's going to give you the score on that. Submit all. Once you submit all, it'll be given. And then from there, there come some questions that we did not answer. That's why it's checking that. And lastly, teachers, that's all about the exam. Maybe last but not the least, before we go, I just needed to show you the prototype of the questions here that we could find also here in the Aptis, and then we disappear. We call it a day. Give me a second. I don't take more time. You are going to find that some of the possible questions, the speaking part, you can find them. It's very important to take note on this, especially in the speaking symbols of this kind of the Aptis exam. You can find personal information about this example, what do you do in your free time, about opinion and preferences. They could ask you, it's about the Itep, yeah. They could ask you where you live, country sign, city, a description of the places, maybe describe where you live or an interesting thing. They could ask about the discussion. This is a little bit complicated. How do you feel about social media influence on the society? Our problem solving and hypothetical situations. This is a little bit the last part of the speaking, very complex. If you could make one law, what could it be and why? So you have to think broadly. Lastly, future plans. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Try to think about that. Okay, sorry. And then from there, we go to the basically like the last part of it, which is this one. Maybe in the Aptis, you can find this kind of questions of mentioned in the different parts. Personal information about the family, free time, friends, where you live, describing and explaining about the memorable experiences, about favorite books, and opinion. The justifications could be the importance or benefits of learning a new language. Do you think technology has improved education? Why not? So you're supposed to pick on that. And lastly, in the last part of part 4, compare the advantages and or the pros and cons of online shopping versus store shopping. Compare the city life and rural area. And lastly, compare communication currently in relationship to the 10 years ago. And teachers, that's like to have a general paradigm of what is all about the Aptis and the Itep exam. I hope that you have learned something good. Because of time, we may not be able to prolong all that. But what I could say is that maybe let's turn on our cameras, teachers, please. It's good to see you. Good. What I could say that maybe later on, when you go to present your Aptis exam, just need to be confident by yourself. You already have the knowledge. You are teachers, most of you. Although there might be some students, but most of you are teachers. And even if they are student of the license or the bachelor degrees, okay, you have the knowledge. Those who prepare for the exam mostly are those who have already the competence in the language. You have the language. So what you needed is to have the orientation on how to answer the exam. It doesn't mean that you don't know English. You know English, of course. But now you needed the instruction, tips on how to present these exams. Because even if you are a native speaker and you don't know the setup of the exam, you don't know how to present, you are going to fail. That's why it's good to have this kind of training so that you know how you can fix it for yourself. And even you can help other people. You can train other people. I started by then I help other people also to understand the exam. That's all about myself. As I told you, I don't possess the monopoly of wisdom or knowledge, but to share the little that I know. So thank you so much, and for your time, for the sacrifice, for the organizers, Luz Elena and the Guillermo, Oscar, and the director Jill from the central branch. That's the Motis. So I've finished, Luz Elena. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ernest, for your presentation on international exams. Your tips have given a deeper understanding of this important topic. So we appreciate your time and your knowledge and everything that you share with us today.
Good. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Any comments from the teachers? I don't know. Let's see at
Okay,
the
that's all.
Station teacher. It deserves a second one.
Yes.
Maria Paula want to say something too.
I'm going to ask too if it's possible that you can lend us the links for us to practice a little bit more this resort that were really great. So thank you so much for your time. It was something really interesting.
Yes, sure. I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to send you the link for the Aptis as well in the chat. And down, let me show you before we go how you're going to operate on this one. And it's very interesting. Where is it? Just give me a second to find it. Okay. Share. Is it this one really? Yeah. I'm going to send you this link. And after you have this link, you will come down here. You will find all these mocks. They are free. They are free. You don't have to pay anything. They are complete. And mostly what is there is what really comes to the exam. I can assure you because I've been training the student from another university and they always prepare those. So the first one, mock test 1, mock test 2, mock test 3, they are for the general aptitude exam. And then when it comes to the advanced mock test 1, 2, and 3, they are basically like for the teachers or for the advanced. However, we know that even the general mock, the general aptitude is acceptable here in Colombia with the Secretary of Education is acceptable. So whichever of the two is okay. You can do the practice. You just open each one of it and then you do the skills. Let me share with you in the chat. I can share with you I can share with you the link. Just give me a second. Chat box. Yes, teacher. So that's we have the chat there, please. In the chat, you have the link. I think, I don't know, wait a moment to everybody. Yes, there you go. Yes, so Sandra Balgas, say something. What do you want to say?
Okay,
Yes.
Ernest, thank you very much for your presentation. It's really useful, really helpful. And I just had one question, but I don't know if you can answer it.
Yes.
Because I took, for example, the last year, I took the Itep exam.
Yes.
And what is the main difference in terms of certification? I mean, is there any difference to certify the level of English between Aptis and Itep, or they both are the same thing?
That's a good question. And also, just to be open, we know very well, internationally, there are 2 acceptable exams. It's only that Itep is basically from United States. Mostly they based on the United States, though we have the branches here in Colombia, Itep Colombia, and so on that do present it. We know also from the National University, Open a Distance, UNAD, we have the Itep also can be presented there. What happens is that ITEP is more of American exam, but English is English. It's American exam. The setup is American. But Aptis is more of British exam. Yeah. But the two of them are recognized worldwide. They are recognized. And here in Colombia, if you look at the document from the Secretary of Education, they accept both Aptis and ITEP. So whichever you do, it's acceptable. I think also with the nowadays with the UNAD also we're having different exams. Lucelena is an expert that you have the Aptis, we have the ITEP, we have the TOEFL, and within the course of that they are going to maybe perhaps they will admit even we have the Oxford exam, and soon maybe they'll be accepting even the Aptis. But I know especially with the human resources, you present your certificate of the Aptis exam, perfect, it will be acceptable. Why not?
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
More than welcome. Okay. Any other comments before we we disappear before we go? Comments, question?
Hello there. I have a question. We can share this information with other teachers because it's really useful in order to make them feel more comfortable with all the Aptis and the Itep exam. So I don't know if we can reply this information. You can share the slides if it's possible, of course.
That's very interesting. I think, Elena, you are in charge of that. Maybe perhaps you could share with the teachers the recording, and maybe the recording people can download so that they can have the training maybe in their computers for the future reference. Maybe wait upon Luz Elena. She's going to tell us if she will share with us the recordings or what. I don't know, Luz Elena.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the recording, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. So, no worry. Teacher Luz Elena will share with us the recording. Okay, that's good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good. So for me, I've finished. Once again, I'm very grateful for your patience and all that. And I think we always keep on training, sharing ideas that we have from one another. Thank you so much, Luz Elena, for your continuous support for the teachers. You are I know you are a very hardworking teacher, and you are always ready to help the teachers in this kind of training. So once again, thank you, Thomas, and in extension, say thank you also to our director, wherever she is, Jill, and the rest of the staff. God bless you.
Thanks, everybody. So see you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks so much, teachers. Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks a
everyone.
lot.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher.
Okay, I'm more than welcome.